soon enough. What the heck is going to go on with the Golden State Warriors? That's not the conversation for today. We're going to talk a little baseball here. We're going to be heavy baseball. Dave Fleming coming up at 8:30. We got Casey Pratt, ABC7, get his thoughts on everything. He's been all over this situation. What do the A's do next year if this vote does finally go through the governor of Nevada and they pass this bill and they bring the A's? What will happen to the A's next season? We'll talk to Casey Pratt at 9:20, but we're going to talk to Flem. We got the U.S. Open coming up, Shasky. L.A.
Country Club.
L.A. Country Club. Yeah, this is big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
But I'm more excited for Luis Matos.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you see who's taking a leave of absence from everything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Jay Monahan.
Yeah.
He claims he's at, well, and I'm not trying to be.
Issues?
Am I cynical? They're saying that he's got some health issues and whatnot. Am I too cynical to say that feels like a very convenient excuse? Is that unfair of me?
I'm not going to touch that. I don't feel comfortable.
Well, that's why I'm asking you if that's a cynical approach to it. Like, some doesn't add up to me.
Just leave it alone. It's pretty ironic that he's taking a leave of absence now. Hopefully, it's
coincidental, maybe then.
Yeah, no doubt. Before the big tournament,
right?
So he doesn't have to face the music.
Exactly.
That's weak. What's that weak is the Giants lately. Giants are rolling right now.
Conforto.
Five game win streak on the road. Now they got to figure out a way to win at home. Of course, they lost 3 straight series at home. You got to get these guys right. But look, first 2 games of St. Louis, you take care of business. Now you can get greedy today. It's a big start for Anthony DeSclafani. Hopefully you can pick up some innings there, but some good stuff coming from the Giants, including Luis Matos coming up today wearing number 29. So we'll talk to Flem in just a second. We are talking golf. I'm excited about what's going on with the LIV and the PGA, and I want golf to be a worldwide sport now. Forget all these little random tournaments in the nation. Go to Australia for 2 weeks.
Agree.
Go to China. Make this a world tour with all your best players. Fly them all over the place. Dubai. Go play in South America. You could sell out galleries. Now, of course, it's probably not going to happen, but that's what I want. Make it a worldwide sport. That'd be kind of cool. With the team aspect, too.
It's interesting that you bring up golf because I was thinking about this, and this was a concept that I had brought up actually yesterday behind the scenes in the green room with Sam Lubman. And I said, do you care who owns your team? And a lot of people do. They care about who they're donating to when it comes to politics. They care about if that person's a good person or not, maybe if they have a Q rating. Mm-hmm. So, like, for example, hypothetically, do you think, I'm asking sincerely, do you really think A's fans would matter if, hypothetically, the Saudi investment firm, the PIF, came in and said, we will buy the A's and we will build in Oakland? Everyone would be like, yeah, I know they do some really bad things. And I'm just being honest. Like, I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, I really don't care about that other stuff. Do you keep my team local? Am I able to go to games?
I think it'd be an easy sell for fans.
Am I alone in that thinking?
No, you're not. You're not. In the back of your mind, you'd be like, oh, these guys aren't good people. But fans will get what they want in a good baseball team and some ownership group that will spin. So people will kind of ignore some of those things.
I agree with you. And so everyone was ripping the golfers for a long time. Saudi money is coming to the NFL, it's coming to the NBA, and it's coming to Major League Baseball. It's a matter of time.
Let's go to Dave Fleming, who's live in St. Louis, getting ready to call a game for NBC Sports Bay Area. Doing a great job with that. Dave, what's going on, man? Good morning. First of all, you going to be in L.A. this weekend? Obviously, you're going to be in L.A. for maybe the Dodgers or the U.S. Open. Which one you going to? You going to the Country Club or Dodger Stadium?
I'm only working the baseball games. My only work duty is at Dodger Stadium this weekend, but I will be. We're leaving for LA after the game here tonight, so we'll be in LA till late tonight and have the off day there tomorrow before the weekend series against the Dodgers.
So you go out there to check out the first round.
I'm gonna go. I was like a little torn about it. Off days can be sort of precious. But I thought, heck, we're in L.A. I like LACC. It's a cool place. I'm going to go out there. Plus, I got invited to the VIP.
The truth comes out.
Hey, you know what, though?
The red carpet came out. He's like, free. You know what? Free is me. I'm not mad at you, Flem.
I saw Dave at the Women's U.S. Open a couple years ago with his daughter or daughters. I forget if they were both of them there. But he was walking like a commoner, like your boy over here. No. And we rubbed elbows. Remember that, Dave?
I do remember that. I think we were by the 18th green.
Exactly.
I did. I walked the course. And that's what I'll do. It's not like I'm going to hide some, corporate chalet, although I was there for a few minutes.
I love it.
The red carpet's coming out for you tomorrow. Okay, that's all good. But what about Luis Matos?
so
that red
excited,
carpet
Dave.
out there wearing number 29. So he's finally up. He's been a buzz over the last 2 weeks. He is lighting it up in AAA, and now he's going to get an opportunity due to Mitch Haniger going on the IL. A rough start for Mitch Haniger in his Giants tenure, no doubt about it, but a lot of excitement for Luis Matos. Now that's another kid we get to see, Flem. So Matos, Schmidt, Bailey, we're starting to see some of the fruits here from the farm system, Flem.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, Tristan Beck and Keaton Wynn and Ryan Walker, and there's been a lot of contributions from young guys this year, and important ones, and it's really exciting. Now, you hate to have it happen this way, although for Luis, it sort of had to happen this way. The Giants were not going to be calling him up anytime real soon. As hot as he was, it just wasn't realistic to who you're going to bump off the roster if everybody was healthy. So it was going to take something like this in the short term for it to happen. But the good news is that you got a guy who's playing as well as he is. And so you feel like you're striking while he's hot. And he had a big smile on his face. I said hi to him this morning. Looks like a very confident young man. His luggage didn't make it here, but his bats made it here. So he's borrowing shoes. He's borrowing all kinds of stuff, but he's got his bats, and I think he'll be good to go.
Oh, I love that. He's batting second, Dave.
Yes.
Bonte is so excited. He's going to bat second.
We were just talking, and I was like, I want to see him bat in the top 3. If this guy is who we think he is, he's a 5-tool player, let him bat behind Lamont Wade Jr., let him bat in front of behind Thairo Estrada. We plan on him being in the middle of the order for many years to come. Let's start it right now. Rip the band-aid off and go through the struggles.
Wow.
He's batting second.
I'm shocked.
Oh, I'm jacked up for this, Flem. Oh, my gosh. This is awesome.
Yeah, you should be. It's fun. It's okay. Look, I talked to Mitch this morning, too, and he had a smile on his face. He's going to be fine.
Okay.
He's going to be out for a while, but he's in good spirits. So it's okay, even with a downer of that news, to be excited about this kid because he's really exciting. The thing that I like about it is he had a really bad year last year. I mean, this guy was a premium prospect. Like, oh, my gosh, what do the Giants have here? They might have a future superstar. And then last year, it just nothing was working, and he was hurt, and he was a lot more hurt than he was given on, and he was chasing. And the Giants not only got him healthy, but they gave him the directive, like, okay, Luis, we love you, but you have to get better at this. And this was, he's so naturally gifted bat to ball. Like the guy has like sort of preternatural ability to get the bat to the ball. But that can be a curse sometimes in this sport because then you start to swing at everything, and if you're making contact with sometimes a swing and a miss isn't the worst thing in this sport. And sometimes the worst thing is you swing at a bad pitch, you're so good, you make contact with it, and you just hit a weak ground ball or whatever, pop up. And so the challenge for Luis was stay closer to the strike zone. Use all those skills, all that talent, but find the right pitches to hit. And good grief, did he take to that? I mean, this year he's got more walks and strikeouts in the minor leagues this year. That in this day and age, that's almost unheard of. And he's been hitting with power lately. He's the second youngest player in the big leagues. He was the youngest guy in AAA. He's the second youngest guy in the big leagues, and it's a fun day for the Giants.
Well, it's interesting because, we talk, who's the next point guard after Steph? Who's the next quarterback after Steve Young? Like certain positions in left field, Barry Bonds in left. Willie Mays in center has been a tough spot to find a guy who could be a 5 or an 8-year solution. Like quietly, that's been a giant hole as well. I don't know if he's going to play center field, but like having a homegrown outfielder. I mean, we've been waiting literally 35 years for this, Dave.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why that is. I mean, the Giants have had lots of good outfielders. It's not that they haven't had them. They just haven't been developed in the Giants system. Weird. And he could be the guy to end that streak. I mean, and I think you touch on something that is fun and brings even more excitement to this youth movement. You've got guys up the middle. Teams often defensively are built up the middle. And so if Patrick Bailey is your guy, a catcher, or at least a big part of the solution, he sure looks like that. Thairo Estrada is no rookie, and he's not nearly as young as Matos, but he's still a younger player you can build around for a long time to come. Tyro's at second. If Matos can be the center fielder going forward, if he sort of hits the ground running, you're talking about a young core up the middle. I mean, Casey Schmidt's got a lot of work still to do. We've had over the last few weeks, but still a really talented young player. He could be your shortstop going forward. He could be. That's a cool thing.
You know, I'm glad that you brought up the youngsters.
For Matos, by the way, center. He's going to play
center field. Today. Beautiful. Yeah. I'm glad you brought it up because, like last night, Schmidt gets a base hit, drives into RBI, hit a beautiful ball to the right side. I mean, it's just a gorgeous piece of hitting. Yes, I want him to walk more. And then Bailey comes up, he rips one. And it's like, wow, you're seeing a wave of youngsters come through. And then the old guy, Brandon Crawford, drops another safety squeeze. So they're kind of firing on all cylinders. And I feel like we haven't given enough credit to the manager, Gabe Kapler. He's got all these guys executing and playing the game the right way. I mean, this is the most fun I've had in a long time watching a team.
Yeah, and two things on that. I'll follow up on the Kapler thing in a sec. But we also shouldn't exclude Blake Sable from this. Blake Sable is doing a really nice job for this team. And I know he wasn't developed in the Giants system, but he's a 25-year-old rookie who'd never played in the big leagues before this year. And he's helping the Giants win games. Like, he's been a really important piece for this team through some other injuries while Jock was out, backup catcher. He's doing a lot of jobs for the Giants right now. And Blake Sable deserves some credit for his performance as well. Gabe is good at this. Like, Gabe is good at creating an atmosphere where, because this is the ideal, but it just isn't a given at this level of professional sports, where you got egos, you got guys with confidence. You want everybody to be comfortable taking different roles. And what I mean by that is, like, maybe you're not going to play every day. Maybe you're not going to hit at the top of the order every day. Maybe we are going to mix and match with you a little bit. Pull for your teammates. Do your best in your job. And, you go down to that Giants clubhouse these days, there's no grousing, there's no bitching, everybody is pulling for one another. And on a team that's built the way this one is, the manager does deserve some credit for that.
Dave Fleming here on the Morning Rush on 95.7 The Game as the Giants try to get to sweep in St. Louis. They've won the first two games Monday night in dramatic fashion. Camilo Duvall getting a 4-out save. Brandon Crawford with the game-winning hit. Yesterday they throttled the Cardinals. And now you get Anthony DeSclafani, who had a nice bounce-back start against the Cubs. Although the Giants didn't win the game, they lost that one 3-2 last Friday night. But the previous start against the Orioles, he just didn't have it. He was all over the zone. He gave up a lot of hits, 5 hits, 6 runs. DeSclafani, it's a big start for him because as we talk about the Giants moving forward in June, one thing that's been disappointing is the starting pitching. And if DeSclafani could just find it here and be solid for the 6 innings, not asking for a lot here, this is one of those starts for Anthony DeSclafani that he could take with him through the rest of the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you in that the starting pitching is a little wobbly right now, and it's supposed to be maybe the ultimate strength of this team. So they have a lot of depth. They're getting Alex Wood back sometime soon. They're getting Ross Stripling back, probably not quite as soon, but soon, and hoping that those guys can sort of flip the switch a little bit and get it going. Sean Manaea has definitely made a lot of progress. So there's some good signs, but DeSclafani is really important to this team. I just talked to Gabe Kapler before I called you guys, and he said something interesting. Tony's always going to be fearless. He's always going to attack the strike zone. That's just who he is. Gabe told me he's never tested better in the weight room. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten more explosive. He's really put that as a priority. But we haven't quite yet, and this is sort of Gabe saying this, he hasn't quite yet seen that translate to maybe a little more stamina, holding the stuff in games. The whole point of doing that as a baseball player, as a pitcher specifically, is to hold your stuff a little deeper in games. So they're just kind of waiting for those, because Tony's worked really hard on that. And they're just kind of waiting for those gains to be translated to the in-game performance. Who knows, maybe today he pitched a lot of games in the Midwest sunshine in his days with the Cincinnati Reds. Maybe a day game in St. Louis will do him good.
No doubt about that, Flem. You have a great call. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy L.A.
Golf, yeah.
US Open. Who you got this weekend? Who you got? We always do this with the majors. Who you got this weekend?
Yeah, I know. It's hard for me. John Rahm's got such an unbelievable track record playing in California, winning at Riviera, winning at Torrey Pines. He's just always played well on the West Coast. It could be a John Rahm kind of week this week.
Okay. I'm not going to count out Brooks. I don't know. That guy's playing.
He's playing great.
Oh my God!
My U.S. Open. He loves everything about these tournaments. You shouldn't count out Brooks. I mean, Victor Hovland's going to play well again. It's a second shot course. Victor's iron play is awesome. Scheffler. I think Scheffler would be my pick, but the putting has been so
putter.
Shaky.
He got a new Scotty Cameron though, Dave.
Yeah, maybe that was the difference. I mean, the Memorial, he really struggled putting. He'd be my pick other than the putting thing. And Morikawa's putting just hasn't quite been there. Colin would be a great pick. Max Homa's a great pick, but it's almost like you got to see it in one of these big events. He's an awesome guy. He's trying so hard. Sometimes you think he's trying too hard. So I've sort of gone through all those guys, and I'm circling back to
I like it.
John Rahm.
I like it. All right, Flem. We'll talk to you next week. Have fun out there. Let's go. Luis Matos.
Let's go.
Number 29, batting second in center field. Could be a new day in Giants baseball, man. We'll see about that. Flem, have a great call today.
Talk to you guys. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Dave Fleming here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. By the way.
So excited. He's batting second.
By the way.
You called that.
It's give him top of the order. Let's go.
What
are we doing? What are we waiting for?
Did Farhan, was he driving around listening to us?
I do think some of these teams listen to us. You cannot tell me.
Wait. You think these teams listen to us?
You cannot tell me that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan was like, listen to these bozos here talk about Christian McCaffrey. Oh, wait a minute. That makes sense in our offense. Oh, wait.